What's up, everybody? Superdorks fan here. So while I was at SEMA with the whole Garage Monkey crew here for Road to SEMA, we actually had a chance to meet and talk with Kang, Han from Fast and Furious, and talk with him about his Project Underdog that he did with these three high school students here that he kind of took under his wing and built this very unique and custom Ford Maverick. And so it was really awesome. This song's just such a cool, down-to-earth, really a fun guy to hang out with. And so my buddy Brian's Mobile One there, he actually was asking a bunch of questions to Sung about the car, and kind of had Sung give us a walk around of the car and point out some really cool little details on the car. And so yeah, I apologize that the audio isn't the best. It was very noisy and loud there at SEMA, as you might imagine. And so but hopefully you still enjoy hearing some of Sung's thoughts here on the Maverick, and you get to check out the car here a little bit because it's a pretty sweet build.
There was a lot of fabrication because the original engine bay didn't fit, obviously. This engine, so we had to cut the towers. Now it looks super clean, right? But it looks like the 2.3 was supposed to be in this car. But the interesting thing is that there was a 2.3 displacement in 1974, right? That I think it was about 76 to 90 something horsepower, right? But now this stock is at 310, and this could actually pull up to, I heard John Hennessy was telling me, up to 800 horsepower. If we dual charge it, that would be pretty awesome.
That'd be awesome. So you had some physical limitations with the strut towers. You took care of those. What did you do with the electronics, with wiring? I know a lot of people that build cars, that's where they get into a lot of trouble, is with the electronics.
Well, Ford came, so it's a stock ECU, right? So there's a lot of still experimentation because this has never been done.
Right.
But they came in and they helped us out, right? And so we had a wiring expert that came and worked with them, so they helped us figure it all out. So there's still a lot of tuning to do once we get back. This is SEMA ready, so it's not road ready, right? So because it's the first of its kind, we're still learning as we go, right? So,
absolutely. There's a lot of deadlines with SEMA. You talk to any of the builders, they'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
Notice that this is fiberglass. No, originally was the hood fiberglass.
This is actually carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber.
Yeah, and this with the.
Okay, that's just the backside.
Yeah.
Of it.
So this is actually from Maverick Man. So there's a guy that works for Hot Rod Magazine, and he calls himself Maverick Man. His real name is Derek.
That's his specialty. That's his passion.
So he makes the grabber hood, right? So these nostrils represent the grabber edition. Right?
That's awesome.
So
it's beautiful.
So that was like the top of the line Maverick that was available. So that came with this hood and the 3-piece trunk, right?
The interior.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I saw the skull knobs on that. Whose idea was that?
This.
Yeah.
Well, this has a really interesting story to it. When we bought the car, we bought it from a man named David, right, in West Covina. And this car was really special to him because he and his father, worked on it together. They got it running together. That's how they shared a lot of memories. And his name is Bowling Dave, right? That was his nickname. So that's why if you look at the wheels, we have these little bowling pins on there, right? And then, so his father put these on, these little cheap little skull caps, right? So then I decided, you know what? He told me that he was going to bring his father to SEMA and to show him the car. Well, obviously, he's not going to recognize it.
This is to pay tribute, kind of homage to them and the history of the car.
So when his father sees it, he's going to recognize that it's his Maverick.
Nice touch of humanity there.
Yeah, so it gives it soul,
Awesome. So the inside, the interior, the upholstery.
All right, so my favorite part about the Maverick interior is this tray, right? Because a lot of I think up to 74, they didn't have glove boxes, right? So they had this danky little plastic tray down here.
Right.
This isn't plastic anymore. I sent all the interior to my friends in Dubai.
U3 emblem there for
right?
the Underdog 3 project.
Yeah. And my friends over in Carbon Signal in Dubai, they do all the carbon fiber for the Nissan Middle East, right? So they're Hakosuka and 240 enthusiasts. And so when I built the Fuguzi, the 240Z last year, they reached out and said, we would love to contribute somehow. And I said, well, maybe you could help me with the interior, right? So on this one, they reached out and said, hey, we want to be a part of this. And I said, but you guys are, JDM, you're not really Maverick guys. And they're like, it doesn't matter. We want to support this project.
Skill,
yeah. So I basically sent them all the interior, and then they made molds. They made carbon fiber molds. They redid these panels. These were like these janky little rubber pieces, and they made molds for these, and now they're carbon fiber. We kept the original back seats, but then of course we reupholstered it with a kind of Ford GT homage to it. You know, that's why we have these little rivets there.
I didn't even notice the roll cage until after we got in.
This is removable as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so clean. It's done so nice. You don't notice it.
Yeah. I think that's the whole point. Is to keep it very simple.
Very clean.
Yeah. Simple.
Elegant.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I love to keep original components. You know, so we just repainted the OEM. You know, what are these called? The window
crank.
Yeah, the window cranks. And then this center console was only available in the Ford Maverick GT from 1974, right? So most American Mavericks were 300 tree, right? And instead of course, we wanted to make a manual, but instead of just coming out of the Ford, it would have been nice to have an original console. So I saw a picture of a Maverick console in an old magazine. So I wrote all my friends in Brazil and said, hey, how do I get this console? They said, it's impossible to find. And this guy, Sid.
That can really slow a project down with all the deadlines and stuff.
Absolutely.
He saved the project.
Yeah.
He saved it for the deadline anyway.
Yeah, so Sid from Brazil, a Maverick enthusiast, wrote me and said, I have an original console. And it was probably $3,000, you know, because they're rare. So he sent it to me as a gift, right? He sent me this, and so then we made, of course, a carbon fiber mold. So now we have the original, and then we have this mold. So now I can actually give these mold, you know, carbon fiber consoles to other Maverick builders. That's kind of my whole.
Are you guys going to give him a carbon fiber version, kind of as a thank you for sending the original one from Brazil? I may have misunderstood that.
No, for other Maverick builders.
Other Maverick builders.
Yeah, so I would like, because I feel like I need to support that community.
Yeah.
Right, and this console
They're
really
gonna love
helped.
you. They're gonna love you for that.
Yeah, that'd be great, right?
Yeah.
Because this is so hard to find. Why not share that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We have the mold. So then Sid from Brazil, also, he sent me these taillights. So these are phase 2 taillights. Pre-77. All the taillights, the Maverick taillights were Pinto taillights. They share the same taillights. So they're kind of these janky little taillights. But this kind of resembles like a Ford Mach 1, you know. It has a very Brazilian flavor to it. Only available in Brazil. So Sid actually sent me these as well, right? So these are OEM Ford, very rare, very hard to find, right?
Beautiful. The whole lines and everything just go really well.
This was donated as well, you know. So, you know, and you know, the guy who did it for us put the whole U3 in there. I think retail something like this goes for like $600 to $700, right? But it's all donated. You know, there's so much goodwill in this car. You know, and then the kit, my friends, Miro-san over at Rocket Bunny, who did my kit for the 240Z. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, I really want to make this wide body. You know, I want to kind of give that. I would say the underdog is if my 240Z had a Brazilian cousin, it would be the underdog, right? So it's like a hoppa. It's a blend of North America, obviously in Ford, South America because it's manufactured in Brazil. We have Asia because the body kit's from Japan, right? Interior, Middle East, right? The windows are made in Mexico, right? So it's this Benetton of collaboration, right?
That's awesome. Very international.
Yeah. And then we have these custom-made wheels from Arts in Motion. So this young man, his dream was always to be in the auto industry, and his passion is wheels, right? And he actually works with the same company, 5052, that does Magnus Walker's Porsche wheels. And he reached out to me and said, hey, I was one of those kids in the Underdog program. Like, I was one of them. And I would just love to contribute somehow. And I said, what do you do? He goes, well, I have a kind of a startup. It's kind of out of my garage with my buddy and I, and I said, hey, I really want to put these kind of Panasport inspired wheels on this car. And so we started collaborating, and then he made these custom wheels for us, And of course, my friends at Nito, who did the 240Z last year, came in. I didn't even know these were available. Usually they have like that template and they just spray, right? But these are stickers. I didn't know. They came over and put these stickers on there. So they know that donated all the tires, and to find the right fitment, was a real challenge, but they worked with us, So, of course, so the Rocket Bunny kit.
Do you have any idea on, I know a lot of things were donated, but do you have any idea on what it cost to build this car?
We're roughly estimating that it was about $110,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's so much less because so many people have put heart and soul and
Yes.
brought things in. I mean, you'd have to travel the world. Like I say, it's an international car, but with all the generous donations that people have done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, there were people coming at midnight to come and contribute. You know, we had my buddies that did the tuning, did the turbo over at Greddy, right? They did the intercooler and the turbo. They knew that we were having some troubles, and we were under the SEMA deadline. So he brought a whole team from Japan, and it was interesting because none of them even spoke English. So it was a lot of bowing. You know, they brought some Red Bull and Gatorade, so it was sharing. But then we were trying to ask him, where do we put the fender mirrors? Because as Americans, we kind of don't know really why, what the method behind the madness is, right? So they kind of explained to us. They shared their experiences with the fender mirrors. So they actually drilled the holes for us because drilling it's pretty, and cutting fenders is really tough. Yeah.
It's a big deal.
So, we had tremendous support on this. So, and it's really important because the kids got to meet all of these guys in our industry, and they say they got to meet older brothers, their uncles, grandfathers. The guy who did the roll cage. There was a older guy named Alan, and he came and he taught. He's telling them, you just don't do it by just feel. There has to be a lot of math. You got to actually study. There's academics. There's discipline. So to be able to share that with these kids,
great experience for those kids to see the need for that type of education before getting it, so that they want to pay attention. They want to be able to apply it.
Yes, absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
No, thank you guys. Thank you for your support. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, Underdog!